NSFW, high school teachers, what juicy drama is going around your high school? Last year, a kid shoved a lollipop into some other kid's ear. It busted his eardrum as it started bleeding and supposedly he couldn't hear properly for the rest of the semester. Some kid brought a knife and a list of people he wanted to kill yesterday, so that's just about how things are going. Middle school here. Us teachers noticed that the female students had been highly interested in each other. And we joked with one another that we thought experimentation happened in college. So, a parent arrives to ask her daughter's teachers, principal, and counselor for advice on what to do with her child. Come to find out, her daughter had not been coming home at night because she was participating in lesbian orgies with her friends. Not a teacher. IT support for a school. Being as unspecific as possible. But a kid had his school provided tablet rescinded for having DDoSing software, network penetration software, and even software for doxing on it. This kid is 11-year-old. Anyways, he kept coming back into the office asking for his account tablet back, which was obviously a no. Then he suddenly stopped. We thought he'd just given up. Nope. Turns out him and his family have upped and left to Iraq. Welp. That is both unexpected and terrifying. Not a teacher, but at my former high school the vice principal recently got fired for breaking into people's houses and stealing prescription pills. Every time I got in trouble in high school he said that I should look up to him because he was a respectable adult with a good job. Lol. Man. High schools in other countries have some intense drama. Back when I was in high school, in New Zealand, the most dramatic thing I can remember happening is someone drawing an enormous, like 100 meters long, DCK on our sports field with weed color. The field was in a lowered area from the main school buildings. You had to take quite a lot of stairs to get to it. So you got a really good view of the whole thing whenever you were at the school and walking past. Edit. Damn. It seems there are a lot of high schools in NZ that had this prank done. I'm talking about Newlands College. For those of you guessing. Middle school teacher here. A left behind 7th grader is announcing her abortion date for the 12th of April, which led to the question, baby daddy? The answer is some dude from Instagram. Same day. 2 8th graders were recorded getting blowies and are now expelled. Some craziness is going down. Edit. I forgot to add that 2 kids brought knives to school thinking that each other were going to stab each other. Then the same day 9 kids were sent home for drinking alcohol out of a water bottle. So that's that. A beloved teacher and coach got charged with ducking a student. The teacher had a wife. The student was a guy. A couple of months after graduation, a friend of mine told me she'd had a 2-year-long affair with her English journalism teacher. After I graduated, my gym teacher, S, were arrested for having sex with students. The female gym teacher fell in love with one of the boys. Was it like an after gym duck pile or what? Our HS drama club is doing a production of The Diary of Anne Frank. I remember at our school. To promote the plays the drama club put on, all of the actors had to come to school dressed in costume on the premiere day. When we did The Diary of Anne Frank, we had 2 embarrassed kids walking around the halls in Nazi uniforms that day. I don't know why our program thought that would be a good idea. Bunnies. A girl came to school one day with 5 bunnies in her book bag. And by the end of the day had sold every bunny for 25 apiece. Every day, teachers would be stopping kids and looking through book bags and lunch boxes. It was chaos. And the bunnies were still being sold. Occasionally you'd see someone with a lump in their jacket with an ear poking out bunny. Cracked lunchbox bunny. Eventually, this turned into a full black market bunny selling ring. The leader had recruited other sellers. And they had designated bunny trading spots. Our school is infamous for gangs and drugs. So this was a pleasant surprise to most. Over time, the bunny selling trickled to a stop. But occasionally one will pop up. Hoping for the awkward moment when a student realizes who their teacher is on Reddit. Poor Haley if she reads this thread. I'm teacher. Apparently a student tried to commit suicide after he passed a video of himself eating ass, expecting it to garner appreciation from his fellow students. It did not. I guess it wasn't a clean ass. Did not watch it. Obviously. I teach 9th grade. My junior year English teacher loved my high school more than anything. He made it his whole life. After I graduated, our new president-principal combo went through and fired almost all the teachers that student loved, including him. After that he went missing. His favorite book to teach was Into the Wild, and I just know he pulled one of those. He was last spotted leaving church, and then a duffel bag with his wallet and phone were found abandoned on a beach 2 hours from where we lived. Never heard from again. There was all kinds of crazy drama at my school after I graduated though. This was like the least of it. One of my co-workers got fired and got beat the shit out of by a gang of angry parents on an ordinary sunny Tuesday. Turns out this guy was making these kids fight in this sort of tournament. The winners would receive a 10 that semester. Some tough the kids got hurt real bad. He'll never be able to teach again, and he had to leave town because everyone wanted to hurt him. Rumors say that the videos are online, but I haven't bothered to look. This is what happens when someone breaks the first 2 rules. A girl from my rival high school sent a video to her BF of her sticking a toothbrush, bristle side first, in her butt and repeatedly brushing her butthole. Needless to say, they broke up the next week and the video got sent around and ended up going viral in my hometown. Next year comes along and she transferred to my high school. I'm pretty sure nothing changed and she was still made fun of until she graduated, 2014. Poor girl. I felt bad for her situation and tried to ignore it as best as possible. I did try talking to her once to see if she was okay, but she was a total bitch to me, totally understandable. So I continued on with ignoring her. I'm not a teacher, but was a student that graduated with her. And it seems like her butt brushing stunt has subsided over the last few years. We have a very openly gay flamboyant male student who was beaten up by a group of the tough jocks for telling all of his friends about having a crush on one of the top sports players in the school. As it turns out, he had been secretly meeting this guy in parking lots and secret locations for months for hookups. After the jock let his friends beat him up for the rumors, he posted screenshots of their conversations and NSFW exchanged pics on all social media platforms for the whole student body to read. The high school I used to go to has made a newspaper for something bad nearly every year since it opened. It was a good school but had some bad things happen. The year the school opened, one of the teachers, we will call him Ted, got caught for repeatedly having sex with one of his students. Ted was a young, very attractive guy. He coached cross country, taught the highest level math and was loved by pretty much everyone. Long story short, he was sent to jail and the girl transferred. Flash forward 3 years. I'm at a concert with my mom. I know it's lame, her friend, some college girls and a friend of mine. Everyone got drunk but me, and I started talking to the college girls. Apparently one of the girls was going to get married to Ted in a month. Best part was that she forgave Ted for having sex with that high school girl because he was high at the time. Also, the reason he could not come to the concert with us was because he was in jail for drug possession. I do some part-time strength and conditioning coaching with the high school wrestlers. One of them is the cheerleader homecoming queen's somewhat homely, less popular little brother. Homecoming queen's boyfriend is of course the quarterback homecoming king. Typical high school power couple, right? Well, all was going swimmingly until she was found under the bleachers with the sister of another one of my wrestlers. So the quarterback is now made fun of for turning the homecoming queen lesbian. And both of the wrestler boys frequently hear your sister gets more PSSY than you do. High school kids are cruel, man. The head football coach of my school is currently suspended and being investigated for exposing himself. He got slightly drunk at a football camp, was grilling hot dogs for the players, put his DCK in a hot dog bun, turned around showing every student there, and said this. "You think those are big dogs? Look at this." Not my school but at our rival school. This girl had gone missing from a nearby college. And it turned out that the football coach of our rival school had abducted and killed her. It was a big deal. Edit. Apparently everyone knows it's a big deal. During a bar mitzvah, a kid got a blowjob from his sister whilst drunk. Apparently, it was all recorded. When I was in HS, a rumor started floating around that our English teacher, 9/10 by the way, had relations with one of the senior football players and got knocked up. After a while, he had a kind of visible baby bump. And after this rumor surfaced during the second semester, she got a long-term sub for a few weeks and showed back up looking pretty alright. But no bump. Even one of the teachers I hung out with after graduating thinks she actually did get pregnant by this kid and hit the abort button. Bethany and Deandra have been best friends for like 4 years. But Bethany started hanging out with Amber all the time and Deandra got jealous and told Bethany she'd better drop Amber. Bethany is all. Deandra has pulled the shitty before and I'm not about to beg for her friendship. And Deandra is all. Things are different now. So these days Bethany and Deandra sit on opposite sides of the room and talk loudly. But not to each other. And they both have to find new roommates for next year. We had 6 suicides in 4 years and as a response the administration made every Tuesday milk and cookies day where students got out of class early to head to the cafeteria to get milk and cookies. Not totally sure. But I had 5 journal entries yesterday. We journal every Friday and I let students decide if they want me to read their entries or not, about people who are unnecessarily mean. People who are mean to the nicest people. How breakups don't give you license to insult people. How people hide behind Twitter. How having fun with people you love is so much better than being petty. Etc. They're all from a group of friends. I also had 3 journal entries about the importance of standing behind your friends. How saying stuff that's true shouldn't be taken as an insult. How people are weak-skinned. How I am strong. How people need to stop playing the victim. How people need to mind their own damn business. How people have the right to say and do what they want and do what's best for them and not for others. Etc. Very interested in the dirt when it comes out. There's this emo girl named Cami and her friend who's less emo named Carrie. Anyway, Cami and Carrie were the best of friends. But on like Tuesday Cami told Carrie she'd hang out with her. But suddenly cancelled plans and it was later revealed that Cami had spent the day with her equally emo boyfriend rather than with Carrie. Carrie was mad about it and on Wednesday Cami said she was having some bad headaches and Carrie was like, "Oh, it's good. I'll help you," and gave her 2 Xanax pills. But Cami thought they were like ibuprofen or something, so while she was going down the hall to get water for the pills, Carrie put heroin, weed, conflicting reports, into Cami's bag and reported her to the APs. Her blood pressure dropped from the Xanax and now she's in the hospital. And Carrie, being the genius she is, told one of her friends who reported it to the APs, so now she's in alternative school and probably going to be expelled. They're both sophomores. High school student here. We had a girls soccer coach who accidentally put a vid of him jerking off on his Snapchat story, which all of the girls soccer team saw. Apparently he meant to send it to his wife. But people at my school, for 3 months after, were still like, why did the girls soccer team have him added on Snapchat? And my 2 cents has always been, I used to have my football coach's number. He would send out messages if practice was moved or something. So maybe he found the girls checked their Snapchats more than his messages? Principal caught a couple of kids vaping in construction class. Construction teacher didn't notice because the kids have him a vape too. Ducking hippos, man. They are our greatest threat. They will kill and destroy everything you love. They won't stop. They will literally fight to the death. A student. Not a teacher. But we were at camp on Monwed. And 2 students, a boy and a girl, ran off really late at night. The teachers and camp staff went on a search. which led to them calling the police for help, which led to the two both being found, with the boy having enough MDMA on him to be classified as a drug dealer. He's been suspended, or possibly expelled, and will probably get in juvie or something. Till they stopped teaching English in schools. Not a teacher, but last year there was this girl who sent nudes to some of the boys in our school, like 20 or so according to the rumors flying around, and then those pictures got forwarded multiple times around the state and the police had to get involved. Apparently, some of the guys got put on our sex offenders list. We don't know what happened to this girl. No one knows where she went, either that or I haven't been keeping up to date with all the hot goss lately. Well, late Thursday night a semi drifted towards oncoming traffic. Traffic consisted of a convoy with a school bus transporting the track team and a fellow teacher separately directly pursuing the school bus. The school bus, in hopes of avoiding a head-on collision, was only sideswiped, instantly collapsing on its side. The semi's momentum, not fully halted, kept drifting and rammed straight into the following vehicle, which was the teacher. Immediately emergency response teams started arriving, all from various counties and surrounding cities. A fleet of EMT helicopters came rushing in from the dark starry night to transport critically injured students and teachers. It was an unexpected stress night for all. What was supposed to be a simple return home became a complicated, life-scaring event, killing a beloved teacher. Nice try, FBI. Not a high school teacher, but this was pretty big back when I was in high school. My freshman year, year 1. One of the coaches taped over one of the football team practice reels with a homemade SX tape of him and his wife in the locker room. He forgot to take it home apparently, and the whole football team saw it and the coach got fired. Gonna be buried, but I must say it since it close. 3 days ago my friend commit suicide. On school ground around a week ago. He got into an argument with his GF at school, just turned 18, and pushed her to the ground. Teacher saw it, informed the principal, and he got a 20-day suspension and the school contacted the police. He seemed okay, but suddenly I received news he had hung himself. I was close to him a few years back. Weird thing is I wasn't even hurt or frozen. I received the news. Was like WTF. Hours later I carried on like usual. Shit feels weird. Thought it would hurt a little at least. Well, there's a chlamydia outbreak among the junior and senior class right now. Not a teacher, but one student leaked some girl's nudes. Deans found out. Dad of girl found out. A junior girl got engaged to a 19-year-old guy. Time to break out your alternates. This is currently going on at my old Catholic high school. One of the most beloved guidance counselors and the head coach of the basketball team was very suddenly suspended without pay and fired. Like one day here, the next day gone. The reason? She's married to a woman. Turns out her sister-in-law got upset and forwarded wedding pictures to my school, who fired her because it went against Catholic morals or some shit like that. But the guidance counselor is now suing my school for discrimination. Not because they fired her for being gay, but because they didn't fire other teachers for going against Catholic morals. There were divorced teachers, another gay teacher, few who had kids out of wedlock, and one who got her nudes leaked. The president and principal were suspended by the archdiocese. I'm not sure what's happened since. I went to that school that spied on their students through the cameras and the laptops that were mandatory issue. It was international news and a load of fun at the time, lem tell you. Not a teacher, but recently 2 people at my high school got into some drama. Ended up with one of them dumping a jar of baby powder that was supposed to be cocaine on the other. One of our teachers called the police and got the drug dogs to sniff around and found out that it wasn't cocaine, but ended up about 12 other students with drugs in their locker and got arrested. It was pretty intense cause it was like 15% of my peers getting arrested. Not a teacher, but a few months ago these 2 kids. One was Mexican and sells smokes weed and is in a gang. Then other is this white trash wannabe gangster. They had this big fight in the hallway and the kid who smokes, who is notably pretty tough, got knocked out cold by the try-hard gangster. He had to be carried off in a wheelchair and I heard, but don't believe it, that he had some memory loss. Also the school is being torn down for renovations and they've already done about a third of it, which is messing everyone up on how when they get to classes. Grizzly bears. Man. Grizzly bears everywhere. Not a teacher, yet. But just before the break these two kids, a male and a female, walk outside and the boy starts fingering the girl 2 tables from where my friends and I usually eat. A girl next to them started streaming it while they weren't looking, and spread it everywhere on social media. Needless to say, we don't eat there anymore and the girl probably won't be back to school for a while. A senior in my high school let a 40-year-old man in, led him to the bathroom, and performed oral sex on each other in the stall. Another student noticed 2 people in the stall, took a video overlooking it and posted it to Twitter. Why in a school bathroom? We've got a girl with pretty crappy parents. The dad sells old lemon cars. Not sure what the mom does. We often see the girl walking to the library herself and there is a rumor the student has some special powers or something. Fast forward a little, the dad sells the school headmaster principal a lemon. Sends the lady over the edge. Think it was the same day this kid named Bruce ate some of her chocolate cake from the break room. Sends the headmaster off a rocker. Anywho. Drama is that the girl student with shitty parents is now living with one of our teachers in the small house behind the headmaster's house. They break into eat chocolate and play with dolls sometimes. Makes the headmaster angry. I think the teacher is trying to become headmaster. High school student here. People were betting up to £10. 000 on FIFA games. A kid got expelled for dealing LSD in the school. And some dude hooked up with a girl and he put his hand in her mouth and said, "I am in control now. I dropped out a few months ago due to mental health concerns. That's what I've kept up with. Look at me. I am a high schooler." And the drama going around is that someone has been vandalizing the school with swastikas for the last few months. The school sent the blame to a blonde kid and he got in trouble with the police. Afterwards one of the 2 black kids in my HS, yes that is how diverse we are, just flat out admitted it was him and then moved away. Interesting racial profile twist. Obligatory not a teacher. But some kid at my school got pistol whipped last weekend. Apparently he got a little too close to some guy's girlfriend and the dude arranged a beat up posing as the girl. Nobody really feels sorry for this kid due to the fact that he's negative as duck. Has no regard for personal space. And is annoying. Has no regard for personal space. Got a little too close to some guy's girlfriend. Checks out. I'm a student but the girls basketball coach was just arrested for beating his wife the day they lost the championship. It was also evident he had an affair with another married math teacher at the middle school. A young girl in high school had an affair with the married bus driver who was in his 40s. They had sex in the bus. She got pregnant. He got fired. And now they are married. Edit. Oh yeah, she also has been in a relationship with the guy's son. And has had sex with him too. I assume their home life is very awkward.